Edit. Today I have this real nice silhouette of a Whimbrel. Now, this is one of my first times really getting a chance to photograph them. So, of course, as soon as I had some basic portraits, I immediately went for the backlight. The front light on this was going to be outstanding just because it was super low sun. So you would just had this beautiful, soft golden last minute sunlight coming in on it. But for me, I couldn't resist the backlit option, so I went for that. Not much to do on this. I'm just going to blacken it a little bit more, just kind of get the shadows really nice and dark there. And then maybe just, oddly enough, a little bit more warmth because there was some blue coming in back there I want to kind of get rid of. And then I think the rest of what I want to do to clean this one up is going to all happen in Photoshop. And mainly it's going to be there's just this little bit of just the kind of mud and maybe like seaweed and stuff kind of sticking out there. So I really want to clean all that up. So I'm just going to make a new clone layer and start trying to see if I can get rid of some of that stuff. Yeah, it should be pretty easy in most areas. Just kind of hitting it with the spot healing brush right now. That usually does a really good job in most circumstances. And even if it messes up on a certain area, then I can just usually kind of clean it up with the clone tool at that point. And you can see it did not do a very good job right there. So I'll switch over to the clone tool and just kind of manually clean that up. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. Just nice and smooth gradient there. And a little bit here. I'll just stick with the clone tool on these big soft areas because I think that's where it's going to fail more often. The healing brush should fail, I should say. And the cloning, I just kind of have to, got to take over and do it the right way, These automated tools are amazing when they work, no doubt, but there's just some stuff they don't seem to kind of handle quite nicely, or quite as nice, I should say. So there we go. I'll switch back to the spot healing brush for back there because, yeah, see, it does like perfect for stuff like that. And then I'm just going to start here. See, it's making like ripples from the water where there probably weren't to begin with. Yeah, see, it just keeps... there we go. You do it enough times, it eventually catches on and figures out you want to get rid of everything instead of copying some areas. All right. Let's try that. Worked really nicely. Let's do that. So it's leaving like a little bit of weird artifacts. So I'm just going to come back in with the clone tool here and just kind of smooth that out. Same thing here. It left some weird artifacts there. But it's nice that it gets rid of it for you, and then I can just kind of come back out and smooth things out, If I have to get rid of it from scratch with the clone tool, that often takes me a little bit longer. So it's nice when the healing brush just kind of gets rid of it in the first place, and then all I have to do is come back in and clean up these areas if need be. Sometimes the healing brush just does a great job right off the bat. It did pretty darn good back there. Just a little bit of cleanup on that. And then let's see what it does here. And I usually like to just do what I'm kind of showing you here, which is start from the outside and kind of work my way in to the area that I want to get rid of. There we go. The one tip I'll give you that I've found anyway with the healing brush or the spot healing brush is I actually never use a soft brush with that. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to blend the edges quite as nicely. So I always end up using like a hard edge brush on that spot healing brush. Now for cloning, it's almost always a nice totally soft brush. And see, I have to zoom out here to kind of see. You can see I have some darker patches here that I kind of need to smooth out, but there we go. That's pretty darn good. Let's just get rid of this dark blotch of mud or whatever back there. And now we are looking much better. I do want to darken the right side here just a little bit just to kind of even that tone out. It's a little too far, so I'll back off of that some. And then maybe even just a little bit of burn up in that corner. I'll leave that light actually. Maybe just on the grasses there. That's the word I was looking for. And then there's this weird light band right through the middle of this. So I'm just going to see if I can kind of burn that down just to kind of even out the tone. So there's not that weird line there. And yeah, that's doing the trick. And then I think we'll be just about done with this image. For cloning purposes, I'm just going to, that one tall whatever grass or whatever the heck that was back there, just kind of smooth that out of there. And yeah, I'm really digging that now. There's a dark spot there I left. But yeah, check out how much this cleans it up. Just removing all that junk. See that? Just overall, just visually way more clean, you know? Um, and this is the kind of thing where, listen, I totally get a lot of people might just be like anti doing that, you know? They're kind of saying that you're changing the scene and it's not what it was really like when it was there. And while technically I do agree that I am changing the scene here, my goal is to make photos that are just visually pleasing to look at and share. And my goal is also to maintain the original integrity of the scene. And so when I was laying there and shooting this, I wasn't seeing any of that seaweed. I was just seeing the beautiful golden glow on the water, the silhouette of the unique shape of this Whimbrel with its down curved bill like that, and then the sun setting back there. Like, that's what I remember seeing. That's what I saw even when I was looking through my viewfinder. My attention doesn't, in the moment, in real life, my attention doesn't get called to all those distractions like this, all these little bits of mud and everything. It's like my eye automatically, or my brain automatically erases it. If I really kind of dig in and start paying attention to it, then yes, I will notice those distractions. And I gotta say, there's not much I could do to get rid of them at this point. If I went lower on my perspective to kind of try and minimize that, it's no longer a silhouette, because then I have the bird against the black background and it's more of a rimlet shot, which I did shoot some of. But for this one specifically, I wanted a silhouette. So I had to get a high enough perspective to get the bird against the lighter, brighter, more orange reflected water. And so therefore, it ends up showing that junk a little bit more, So in any case, it's my personal opinion. I think I'm still maintaining the original integrity of this scene. I don't feel like I've vastly changed the entire scene. It's not like I dropped a new background in or anything like that. I just think I'm kind of cleaning up what was there. So it's just visually more pleasing to look at. So that's my take on it. Certainly not something I could do if I was going to enter this in a contest. Not that this photo is anywhere near contest entry worthy, but when I am and I do enter contests, I certainly don't do any cloning like that, and this image would be, one that would not be possible to submit. So anyway, now that I'm done that spiel, there's the total before and after. You can definitely see just a lot cleaner. Eye really goes to the bird here. None of those distractions. Overall, color pops a little bit more and just a little bit cleaner orange overall. I didn't like the blue kind of mixing in on that one. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. There's the final image right there. If you are curious about how I do all this stuff, head on over to rayhennessy.com. Go over to the workshops menu, down to the online workshops. You can check out any one of these workshops, remote sessions to work directly with me one-on-one, the online Lightroom for Wildlife Photography course, the online bird photography course, and then also the mentorship. So I got tons of options for learning there. You can do stuff directly with me or just more passively on your own with these online courses that you can just kind of watch and go through on your own time. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon for the next one.